Crash, crash, crash. Hello there, you gorgeous gamers, and welcome back to another Pure Play TV episode of Everything You Need to Know. And today's focus is Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time! With the new game just being a few short weeks away, we wanted to get the facts down on the game and share the details with you so that you know everything you need to know about the game before you go throwing your money into Activision's already massive pit of money. It's coming soon, and about bloody time. First things first, Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time will release on October 2nd, 2020 for PS4 and Xbox One. Yes, it's only on 2 platforms, but you can almost guarantee that it will get a release on PC and Nintendo Switch further down the line. And knowing Activision, there's probably a paid upgrade for the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions. Although, nothing has been said about a next-gen port, not yet anyway, but you can expect them to be backwards compatible. It's been more than 20 years since Naughty Dog's original trilogy released on PS1, and since then we've had some questionable releases. The PS2, Xbox and GameCube era gave us a few games that were so-and-so, and then the PS3, Xbox 360 and Nintendo Wii era really drove poor Crash straight into the ground. Crash Bandicoot 4 is kind of wiping the slate clean and not clinging onto the other games after the original trilogy. Instead, it's being positioned as a proper sequel to Crash Bandicoot 3 and a part of the mainline series. After the success of 2017's Insane trilogy, rumours were floating around that Activision was pushing for a new game in the series, bolstered by the success of the remakes. Now, here we are, in 2020, the year of our Rona, and we're getting Crash Bandicoot 4. About bloody time. It's not a Naughty Dog game. I can't believe I'm having to say this, but after seeing an actual game developer doing one of those very obnoxious Developer Reacts videos to Crash Bandicoot 4, where he constantly gushes on Naughty Dog's skills, despite the game being nothing to do with Naughty Dog, I do feel obliged to mention it. Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is being developed by Toys for Bob, and that's not a bad thing. Toys for Bob handled the Switch port of the Insane trilogy, and it's a very solid port. They've also worked on some well-known platformers too. Are you familiar with a little dragon named Spyro? Of course you are, and if you played the Reignited trilogy that released in 2018, then you've got Toys for Bob to thank. Likewise, if you've played any of the Skylanders games, then you've also got Toys for Bob to thank. Or to hate, depending on where you stand with those games. I like them, but that's just me. I do hate the name Toys for Bob, but that's between me and Bob. Crash isn't the star of his own game. While Crash's name may be on the box and his face is the one most people recognise, he won't be the star of this game. Or at least he won't be the only star. Previous games have let players take control of other characters, but Crash Bandicoot 4 is taking it to another level by allowing players to switch between Crash and Coco at any time during gameplay. You could then, if you wanted to, play as much of the game as you want as Coco. If you do that, you might as well make yourself some custom box art for your game so it reads Coco Bandicoot. It's about time, I got my own bloody spin-off. And that's not a bad thing, mind you. In this day and age where representation is at the forefront of society, it's good that kids, whether boys or girls, can pick a character that they relate to. Or anybody can play as anybody. It doesn't stop there though. Players will actually be able to control more than just Crash and Coco. The main big bad guy, Neo Cortex, is also a playable character too, as are some other memorable villains, all with their own movesets and skills. Not to mention Crash's love interest, Torna. Wow! Can't wait to see what the furries do with this one. Bloody creeps. It's same old, plus some new stuff. Obviously, the core mechanics of a good Crash game are simple, and it can be broken down into a very easy formula. Crash plus boxes plus Wumpa Fruit divided by many levels minus $59.99, carry the PS4 to your mate's house, pat the dog on the bum equals a good Crash game. The classic platforming action will be there naturally. Boxes will litter levels and there'll be enough Wumpa Fruit to push avocados out of any hipster's mind. But there will be a few new changes too. Firstly, playing as other characters. Secondly, solving actual puzzles and using those magical masks to do so, rather than relying on them to get you through a difficult situation. Another new addition is multiplayer. The original games were purely single player, but passing the pad back and forth was a good makeshift way of getting some co-op gameplay, and that's still something we do today with the Insane trilogy. Crash 4 will actually have dedicated multiplayer support, but what form it will take isn't quite clear just yet. The game will support 2 to 4 players though, and it's most likely to come in the form of drop in, drop out, where a mate can come in, pick up a pad, ruin your run, and then leave you annoyed. I've had it happen, we all have. Why do we still call the PS1 era the glory days? They were f***ing annoying. You can play the demo, but you'll have to pay for it. Remember the days when demos used to be free? Remember when they disappeared for a few years, only to come back as betas? Here's a new one for you. Demos are now being locked behind paid pre-orders, at least where Activision is concerned. Bastards. So how can you play the Crash Bandicoot 4 demo? Simple, pre-order the game. The demo will come out on September 16th, so just a day or two from this video going live, unless you're watching in the future. You'll get access to a couple of levels where you can see what's what and get familiar with the new Crash before it releases in October. Activision has done a similar thing with the recent Tony Hawk remake, as well as Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They're basically paid demos now. At least back in the day, when you bought a magazine for a demo disc, you got a magazine for your trouble, and sometimes a cheeky sex chatline advert would slip through into the back pages. That's why the PS1 era was the glory days. I remember now. Good. And there we have it, my lovelies. Another video in the bag. Booga booga! I hope you enjoyed the video and had a bit of a giggle along the way, and maybe even learned something about the game, I don't know. You take what you want and need from this, I won't stop you. What I will ask is that if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, it really does help us. Cheers my dears, I've been Chris, you've been lovely, until next time, bye!